Hello everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Cherry Knoll Whiskey Reviews. Today we are going to be taking the second step from our last kind of blind tasting, following along with more Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, and Blanton's. So the reason we're doing these three bottles is I figured, from our last one with the benchmark and Buffalo Trace, and one of the benchmarks kind of made it on top, but we kind of both agreed that the Buffalo Trace was like the top one for both of us.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, that one kind of moves up, considering these are going to be the next kind of closest in price range for our area. According to MSRP, small batch E.H. Taylor should be up here too, but our area, that just, you can't find it for anywhere close to MSRP. So you're looking at, in our area, 35, 45, and 80 to 100. A lot of people kind of complain that people buy the Blantons for too much money.
And I am one of those people.
I think the $80 to $100 is within reason. I think when you start spending $150, $200, $300 for a bottle that MSRP is for like $60, that's when you're kind of
It's a little much.
Going a little over and above.
A little too much just for a fancy horse and a little letter.
Maybe. I mean, it is a really good bourbon, and we'll see how it stacks up against the other ones. But, if you've been hunting for Blantons for, I would say, give it a full year. And if you still can't find one after a full year, then if you really want to, that's when you pull the trigger, buy one, and see if it's really worth that in your own mind. Personally, it's amazing. But I try not to spend ridiculous amounts of money on a single bottle of bourbon, because I would rather fill up a wall behind me to give more to you guys and kind of help you guys narrow down what bottles are worth hunting in our particular area and what's good, but you could go without.
I'm excited for this because I've had not a lot of experience, but I've had the most experience with Buffalo Trace. I've been drinking it for a few years now. But Eagle Rare is like the first whiskey that made me realize that people actually go out and hunt specific whiskeys. Like this is the one. This is the first one that I've seen everyone online talking about, and they're like, oh, I got 3 bottles, and like they post a picture of the bottles on the shelf, and there's like 9 of them there, and they're like, should I take them all? And like this was the first ever one that I realized that it's like there are whiskeys out there that are sought after but not expensive.
Right.
And so that's I'm really excited to try this, and obviously the Blantons. I bash on it, but I'm excited to see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, as far as hunting bourbons goes, Buffalo Trace, you can find it quite readily in this area without too much problem. Kind of the same thing with Eagle Rare. I've turned down a bunch of bottles of Eagle Rare just because I'm like, I can find it someplace else, or they're asking $95, and I'm like, I'm not spending $95 on a $45 bottle.
I didn't realize it was 10 years old.
Yep.
Man.
10 years old.
Okay.
And it's a single barrel. So technically both Blanton's and Eagle Rare are single barrel products. Eagle Rare has removed their single barrel sticker or marking because they updated their bottling system to more of a automated system, and instead of flushing out the system to make sure that you're only getting this specific barrel in each bottle, they just kind of push one through the next and can't guarantee that that bottle doesn't have traces from the one before it, etc.
I'm curious to see if we will be able to tell a difference between the 3 proof more that the Blantons is than the other two.
Right.
Shall we get it all
we'll,
set up and
I think so.
get into
We'll get them poured, get them mixed around. This will be a blind tasting for both of us. I'll probably mix them up and then have Steve come back behind me, mix them up again. That way neither one of us has any idea which bottle is associated with which glass. And we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back from mixing them. Hopefully they all stayed in. These two are the same, those two are the same, and the final ones are the same, and we didn't mix up our glasses individually.
We need a third person.
Yeah.
We really do.
Anyway, we will start the same as last time. From our right, work left, and then left to right. Then we'll score them, and tell you what we think, and figure out which one's which. Maybe now that it's only a blind for both of us, we'll both take a stab and see if we can pick out which one is which and how far off we are.
I already feel a lot more confident going into this one.
Oh yeah?
Than I do going into it totally blind, with blind. Absolutely no information on what I'm drinking, but let's see how we do.
Right. So glass one.
Glass number one.
So one thing to keep in mind is that two of the bottles are freshly opened. So some people think that neck pours have different nosings and tastes. So eventually these bottles might open up.
That's good.
So right away, getting that cherry vanilla.
Yeah. Yep. Which makes me think
a little bit of caramel.
This could be Buffalo Trace. I feel like whichever one this is, because it's first, I'm gonna just think it's Buffalo Trace. Until I drink those two.
It's good.
Actually, I don't think that's Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
No, not at all.
So a lot of cherry forward for me, and then it goes right into caramel with a finish of vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm experiencing. Maybe not as much on the cherry, but I could definitely see it in there. More of like a it's more of like a maraschino cherry than like a fresh kind of juicy cherry.
I agree. Not a
more candied.
Not a fresh but candied, right?
That's good.
Delicious, regardless.
Yeah. Excellent.
Alright, ready for glass two?
Yes, I am.
Palate cleanse?
A little bit.
I think this one's Buffalo Trace.
Yeah?
Actually, no. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I do. Because this one is vanilla forward.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly,
it was vanilla.
Our last tasting with the benchmarks, the Buffalo Trace had that strong vanilla.
Like, I think I said it was like a ice cream whiskey.
Yep. You still get the cherry, but that vanilla...
Little bit.
The vanilla is definitely up front, and it's like you've got a bowl of vanilla ice cream with just the maraschino cherry on the side.
Yeah.
While the first one was more like you had the jar of maraschino cherries with like a little tiny bit of ice cream with a little bit of caramel on it.
That's got to be the Buffalo Trace.
I agree.
100%.
Now I'm curious.
Super mellow. So easy to drink.
Right.
Just like...
Not that the first
that
one
wasn't harsh at all.
was harsh.
No.
Just this one seems... Buffalo Trace has that kind of... like, little to no burn.
Yeah.
And it's just really easy going.
Mm-hmm.
There's very little oak.
Very friendly.
Very friendly. And it's hard to complain about, for sure.
Shall we?
Alright. Glass 3.
Oh. I want to say this one's like got a little tiny bit of like smokiness to it, or maybe char to it.
Smokiness?
Maybe not smokiness, but like...
I'm getting fresh cherries on this.
Really? Yeah, I could see like a apple.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
fruity apple
Cherries
cherry kind of.
and apples.
Yep.
A little bit of cinnamon maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but there is like, for me, there is a little bit of like a little tiny hint of smokiness to it.
I wonder if that's an age characteristic
Possibly.
that you're picking up. So this is like you combined these two.
Yeah.
It's got more of the cherry forward,
Mm-hmm.
but it's super easy drinking like the second one.
I think I'm very confident at saying which these are. I don't know about you.
You want to make those guesses now or wait until we go back through?
I'm going to wait, but
You're
I
gonna
think
wait.
I'm very confident. This one's also really good.
They're all delicious.
Apple is like very predominant now. Now that I've been smelling it and sipping it.
For me, Womgang is the bright cherry with cinnamon behind it.
Yeah.
And I can see
Maybe
how
that's what
like
I'm...
a bright fruit and then cinnamon would go straight to apple.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of like pie crust in the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like that, like where the sugar gets onto the crust and like kind of caramelizes and gets real hard and so good, so good.
All right, so we will probably do the same thing we did last time and either cut out completely or time lapse the remainder of us going back our left to right. And then we will come back once we have kind of put them in the order that we feel is our top number 1 down to our least favorite 3, which really...
It's going to be so close.
It's like best, better, and greatest. They're all amazing.
Best, better, and greatest.
Like, they're all amazing, and you're really cutting hairs to put one in front of the other.
I know which one I like best and which one I like least.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
I think it's going to take me some going back and forth.
I am so confident in this. Okay. I would be so shocked if I'm wrong.
All right, well.
But let's go back.
Right, let's get back into it. All right, so this was definitely a tough one. They're all so good.
Yeah.
That I really have a hard time.
Yeah.
Kind of picking one that I'm like, oh, this one is so much better than that one.
I put them in a particular order, but the difference between my least favorite and my most favorite is so minute. It's like, they're all so good, and I would easily drink any of them at any time.
So, essentially, before even going into which one is which, I would say that based on that, if your area has a hard time getting Blantons for like that $160 to $100 range,
Just get Buffalo Trace.
Just get Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're too close to really be like, oh, this one is worth spending $200, $300 on, because if you got Buffalo Trace for $30,
you can't
go
beat
for
it. You can't beat it.
And as far as I'm concerned, the Eagle Rare, if I got them right, has a little bit more oaky flavor. So if that's the case, I would say if you like the oak and what it gives to a bourbon, then the extra $10 is worth it. But not spending $200-$300, I don't think that's worth it.
Yeah, no. So who should go first?
You go ahead and give your top to bottom.
Okay, bottom least favorite is the first one. Little bit too harsh for me. There was just like a little bit too much burn when you compare them to the other ones and how easy they went down.
Right.
Just a little bit unpleasant, but again, it's so good.
Yeah, they're extremely close. Even
followed by this one. I think this one is the one that I would say is a little more oaky.
I agree. I agree that this one's got
rustic,
the most oak offering in it.
And this one was my favorite.
That was your favorite,
by just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I put the oak one as my number 2 because I do like the oak. I actually prefer those flavors, but these two were more of a like daily drinker style, and just one was better than the other, which made first and third. And that's really the only reason why this got first, this got third, and that got second. So it's time to figure out which one's which. Start right to left, I guess.
Start right to left. Let's go. This is letter B.
Letter B.
Letter B.
Which is going to be...
Move this out of the way.
The Eagle Rare. So we'll keep that far right.
Yeah, there you go.
Since that's our far right glass.
Followed by... Which one do you think this is now?
I think it's Buffalo Trace.
It's
Blanton's.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I am
followed by
amazed
Buffalo Trace,
that
right?
Buffalo Trace had the oaky note.
I know.
I thought for sure the Eagle Rare
not getting oak.
Was going to have the oak.
Yeah. I was not getting oak at all the first time, the previous video that we had Buffalo Trace. But I'm shocked. I thought this was the Blanton's because not just because it's 3 more proof. I don't think that would really make a difference, but I just expected a bolder whiskey to be the Blanton's, but I'm shocked.
So, in conclusion of that, if you like the oak, then you're in luck because that's the cheaper bottle.
Wow.
And then as far as what I was saying, where these two were my go-to daily drinkers, yeah, it sucks for me. And your number 1,
yeah,
you're stuck with the expensive taste on that one.
Does this mean I have to apologize for all the bad things I've said about Blanton's?
I mean, it literally proves that you have expensive taste, or the Blanton's is just that good.
It's just that good. Yeah. It really is. I thought it was a gimmick. And Blanton's, I'm sorry.
Well, I guess that covers it. Blanton's is the best.
I have a lot of thinking to do. I will still go for the Buffalo Trace because I'm cheap. But
it's still good. It held its own with Blanton's.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. They're my 2 favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, thanks for watching.
If you have any suggestions for any videos for us to do, we are not going to run out of whiskeys, but we might run out of ideas. So let us know what you want to see, and like the video, subscribe, all
Leave
that
a
fun
comment.
stuff. Leave a comment. We'll see you later.
Have a good one.